Hi, it's me, Curlee, and welcome to my show. Today, we are going to cook my mom and grandma favorite apple nut bread. I call it grandma's famous apple nut bread. So, we're going to start out with some apples, of course. It's the fall of the year. It's getting cold where I'm from. In case you don't know where I'm from, look around. You might be able to guess a little bit. Ding, 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 ding. You see it? It's somewhere in the room here to share with you, and you should come up with an answer. But in any case, it's cold, and it's starting to snow today. First day, snowed today. But we still got a little bit of leaves on the ground. They're changing colors a little bit. If you look at some of these, they're pretty, even though they've lost their color. But they still got a unique tone to them. They're pretty cool, right? But back to the apples. So we've got two kinds of apples. I asked the grocery store at the store today, and he talked to me about the two kinds of apples he recommended. One was the Macintosh apple, and the Macintosh apple originates from Canada. It's also known as the Big Mac. No, not the Big Mac. That's a different place. That's funny, but it's called the Mac. Yeah, and it's kind of sweet, a little tart, but excellent for baking, applesauce, pies, right? Juicing, if you want to juice as well. And then I also got the Cortland. The Cortland apple is originally from the late 1800s from New York. And there's a place called Cortland County that these are named after. But and that's where Cornell University is nearby as well. But the Cortland apple is actually a hybrid of the Macintosh apple. So if you look, they're kind of similar in their looks. Now the Cortland apple, the cool thing about that is sometimes when you peel an apple, and I've got some pre-peeled here, when you pre-peel a Cortland, it takes a lot slower when the air gets to it to get brown. A lot of times your apples will get brown very quickly, unless you put them in a little water with some lemon juice, but in any case, that's an interesting thought, right? So we're going to go ahead and start with Grandma's apple nut bread. Yeah, my sister, I was talking to her, and she said, everybody loves it when I make it. So I said, well, I'm going to make it too then, right? So we're going to first start out with, of course, peeling the apple, and this is going to be a big mess, but we'll just give it a try, okay? So we're going to peel the apple. And my kids, or even anytime you have a child that watches you do these, they always go, I want to do it. And then they never really want to do it anymore. It just looks good. It's like anything, a painting. Yeah, I'll be painting a house. Oh, let me paint the house. Sure, for about 5 minutes, right? Well, how was everybody's day? Everybody have a good day today? It's Sunday when this gets released, right? But today's Friday, 2 days before. Yeah, fall's coming, as I shared with you. And yeah, my mom. This is my mom's recipe. My mom's no longer here, but she was super cool. Yeah, I love my mom. You know, I was fortunate to just have a great mom from head to toe, A to Z. Everything about her was just cool. Yeah, she's a good friend. She supported me, even the dumb things I did. She just always loved me. You know, that was the best thing about it, right? Is just being loved. Then I was thinking a little bit about my mom. I was thinking maybe about yours, right? Hopefully you have that kind. You think you got the best mom. That's fine. I think so. I do too. But you also might say to yourself, I don't know. Me and my mom always get mad, or she didn't do this, she didn't do that. Be careful, right? Because mom, remind yourself, is amazing. And you know why? It's pretty easy. You probably guessed it already. Because she made amazing you, right? And without that amazing mom you got, you wouldn't be here, the amazing you, right? So it's the ingredients to make you, right? A lot of other things go along with that, but just remember that. Find ways to be patient and understanding and love your mom. Yeah, be thankful. And let her know that too. All right, so speaking of ingredients, we're going to finish up here with the apple. And, oh, you know what I wanted to do? I'm just starting the show, right? But I wanted to put a timer on, so maybe we've talked for 3 minutes, I think, right? But from now on, I want to put a timer on. And then when we finish, when the timer goes off, that's kind of saying, hey, it show's over, okay? So, kind of at least, all right? So here's my apple. I'm gonna cut it up a little bit. Hopefully you saw some of that from up here. But I'm just gonna do kind of a big chunk, kind of like a thumbnail chunk, okay? And we'll cut that up really good. All right. A little tired. It's nighttime. Yeah. You know, I'm trying to get better at this YouTube stuff. You know. I want to cook. I'm a decent cook, by the way. I've been called a chef, but I don't know if that's really fair. But that's definitely, I've had that title. But I really wanted to just kind of connect and talk to people a little bit and say, hey, how's it going out there? You know, it's a crazy world, right? It's a great world, too, though, for sure. Right? And I think everybody keeps forgetting that. These guys, all these people, things we listen to. It's a wonderful world. Okay, so we're going to take the apples, and you need 1.5 cups. So we're going to take 1.5 cups of apples. Now, I made the recipe, and it's on the link under the describe area. You got to go like this, I guess, or something, but it's below you. And there's a describe button. If you click that, there's a link there, and then you can view it, and you can also print it, okay? I was kind of working on that a little bit. So I got 1.5 cups of the apple. So I got another apple here I kind of cooked. This one's a little brown, like I talked about, right? And that might be the actual Macintosh, right? Because we talked about the Cortland not doing that. But this is a long time this was doing this, so who knows, right? I got the apple here. And I'm just trying to, you know, I have the recipe right here. I wrote it down, but I cut it in half. So with the apples, it's 3 apples. So I need 1.5 cups, yeah. But the recipe that I got in there is for 2. So you know what? I thought that's perfect, right? Because what you can do is you can make 2 loaves, and this is, I'm challenging you. But go give the other one away, right? Go over to your neighbors or, I don't know, relatives, somebody at work. Share it with somebody at work, right? Or some of the team, right? Or go over to somebody that you really don't like. Well, then again, they might think you put poisoned it or something, right? All right, so 1.5 cups of apples. This is going to be about we're about 1.5 apples, but again, it's going to be double that recipe for the other ones. So I'm going to put all that in there just to kind of make it look fun, right? These are some leaves I picked. They're kind of cool, right? All right, so then we're going to put get a mixing bowl. Ta-da! Look at that, right? I've got my oven on right now and 325, and we're gonna first put some sugar in there, okay? And the sugar amount is 1 cup of sugar. I can't believe it. Yeah, I was getting some sugar here, right? And I said, oh, I'm gonna open this up, and then I forgot before the show started. So now I'm gonna have to open it up in front of you guys. I'm going to be challenged a little bit. Try to act cool about it, but that wasn't too bad. Oh, now it doesn't even have a bag or nothing, so it's not too bad. I'll just rip it open like this. And we're going to put 1 cup of sugar. And you bake. It's hard to get around it. You know, you can change some different ideas, right? But that's 1 cup of sugar I just put in there, okay? And then it's going to get 2 eggs. Now, usually we get 4. So the cups of sugar is actually 2 cups, but in this case we're doing the 1. And then we got 2 eggs, all right? Put those in there. And we're gonna put a little bit of vanilla. And the vanilla is 1 teaspoon, I believe, right? Yep. Or 1/4, or 1/2 teaspoon, excuse me. We're gonna put 1/2 teaspoon. Again, I gotta keep looking because I had the recipe down for the 2 loaves. Now I got to think about cutting it in half a little bit, so I'm going to cheat and look. And then let's get some salt, and that's going to be 1/2 teaspoon. Now be careful with salt, because if you don't put the right amount of salt in, or you put too much, you can see it makes a big difference, right? So I always want to level that off. I got some salt, and yum, I've got some cinnamon. You should make a song. Oh, they do make a Cinnamon Girl, that song by Neil Diamond. Neil Diamond? No, Neil Young. I got one first name right. All right, so then we're going to put some cinnamon in there. In my cinnamon girl. Yeah, see, you didn't think I knew it, did you? All right. Then we're going to mix this. Oh, well, yeah, let's mix this up, okay? So we're going to mix this up. And the reason you mix this stuff up is that if you mix it with the flour, it can get clumpy. So you want to mix all this ahead of time. And I tried doing it with a whisk earlier, and it wasn't bad, but then you got to like get it all out of there. It's probably worth doing a couple extra swirl arounds with just a fork. And I think you're going to have an easier time transitioning the flour into this as well. Okay? Oh, you know what, too? So there's a subscribe button on the bottom, and there's one in, I think, this corner right here. Give that a try, too. You know, this is just a grassroots, organic way of just having a little bit of fun. And it's not real flashy, not things cut real quick, right? But we're just hanging out, having a little fun. And, yeah, let's see where it goes, right? Okay, so I've got some flour is next. And with the flour, oh, you know what I forgot, too? I forgot a cup. Oh, I'm going to have to go over here. So then, oh, look at there, the fork went down there too. Yeah, I promise, I'm going to keep getting better. That's not too bad though, right? All right, so we'll go like this. We'll put this thing over here. Get this dirty over here. And then we're going to go with some oil. And we're going to go with a 3/4 of a cup of oil. Okay. Now, there's always substitutes that you can do for this kind of stuff, right? You can think of different kinds of oils. The recipe usually that my mom did was vegetable oil, and I mixed this one with. This one has a little bit of canola and sunflower and soybean. Most vegetable oils are predominantly soybean, but I kind of mixed that up, thinking that wasn't too bad. You get into those other oils that are a little bit less saturated fat, and they're great, but sometimes you can taste it a little bit differently. For baking, I'm not always sold on that much, okay? But you can use different things, like instead of oil, you could use maybe banana or even that apples, right? It's not too bad, okay? I'm going to probably get rid of this idea of the fork and maybe go back. You know what? I'm going to use this, like I said before. But when I add the flour, I think then I'm going to use the fork, okay? All right, so then we're going to go with the flour, and flour is right here, and we need a total of, let me see, 1.5 cups of flour. So I got a cup here. There we go, see that? There we go, 1, and we'll take the 1/2 cup of flour. All right. By the way, this is super good when it's done. It's pretty simple for sure, but it's really good. Yeah, of course, my mom made it, right? Kids from all over all down the street. Oh, Mrs. Drap. Oh, oops, that's my last name. Yeah, Curlee's mom's making, banana nut bread. You're just running up. Then one day I saw it on the news, and then it was just my mom said, "Hey, you got to stop telling everybody, right?" Because they had the movie cameras over there. That's me joking. All right, so then we're going to put a little bit of baking soda in here. Okay. Oops. I don't want to put too much of that, right? But maybe I need just a little bit more. All right. So I got that in there. All right, so now we got the baking soda. We've got the salt in there, the flour. And I think that's it. Okay, let me see. Did I get anything? Yep, that's it. Okay, so now we can kind of mix this up on like this. I guess we'll just do it the way I had it before, because it sure was messy doing it the other way. All right, so I did put everything in a bigger bowl and that's kind of a key thing. Always use a mixing bowl too, by the way, when you can get your handle underneath there a little bit. You're just going to mix these things together. Well, it's going to do that, what I didn't want it to do, you know, and then I'm going to have to put my fingers into this thing too, I think. All right, so cooking this up, or not cooking it yet, but I've got my oven on 325. All right. And I'm mixing this up. And I'll try to get that out of there. And guess what we're going to add next? What do you think? Yeah, the apples. And nuts. Now, when I put nuts in there, I like to have, I like walnuts with apples. Yeah, I really don't think it matters what kind of nuts you use. That's just my personal preference. And again, it goes back to my mom. That's what she used. So we're going to put a half a cup of nuts in here. Okay. Here's a half a cup right here. Oh, nope, that's a quarter of a cup. Where's that half a cup guy? Where'd he go? Huh. Oh, there he is. All right. So I got a half a cup over here. I was thinking I could put this stuff and get them all measured out. Maybe that's what I got to learn to do. I thought this is kind of just part of the fun, right? And it's kind of fun seeing me being a dum-dum. Maybe. Makes you realize maybe you're not such a dum-dum after all, because I'm the biggest dum-dum. All right, so then I got that. I'm going to mix this up, right? That look delicious now? Yum, yum. But you want to get all that flour. You want to get everything mixed together, right? I just hope I got everything in there. I think I do eggs. Yeah, I think I said everything. We'll kind of review that a little bit too, okay? All right, so we got all that in there. And then I'm going to put this aside. And then we've got to flour the pan, right? And this can be a little tricky. Sometimes people like to use Pam spray or some kind of vegetable spray. I'm going to kind of use my fingers here, okay? But I like using just butter. I like butter because it's got a better flavor. And for me personally, I feel like I sometimes taste that vegetable spray, and it's just something about it takes away the natural flavor to the whole baking process of what we're putting in here, the ingredients. Almost gives it, it's not a chemical really, but kind of, it just doesn't taste natural to me. Yeah. So when I do this, I like to do it this way. It's a little messier. That's why I like it. You ever play with Play-Doh when you guys were a kid? I used to love Play-Doh. Then you used to always get bummed because it got hard, or then you had to clean it up. And then later on, when I was a kid, I think that kids got really sick from it too. I think they made it with something that kids shouldn't be putting in their mouth. Then they kept the brand going, but they made it a little different, which was good. But it wasn't the same, it seemed like. But I like Play-Doh. All right, so maybe you can see that. You got to make sure you get those corners really good, okay? Go around like that. All right, cool. All right, so now I got super messy hands. And I'm going to put a little flour in there too, okay? So I'm going to put just a little bit of flour in there. And you want to act like you're really good at this kind of stuff. I'm going to use, this is my pan, or the old one that I use with the flour. But I'm going to shake this around a little bit, okay? Kind of like, you ever see those guys, and you always want to wish you were doing it, but you wish you were in San Francisco or California and sifting for gold. That's the way you want to shake this thing, right? All right, so there we go. And hit it because you don't want a lot of flour. You just want it covering so that it doesn't stick so much in the pan. Right? It kind of ruins your masterpiece if it kind of breaks on you a little bit. I think that's a good job there, I think, right? Okay, see that? All right, so then we're going to take this guy, kind of get rid of this, put them all in the bowl. And we use a spatula. I like a spatula. I've been in the restaurant business a lot during my life. They always just tell me, use the spatula so you don't waste product, right? That's true. I'm a Midwesterner, though. We generally just kind of have a certain frugalness to us, or just a respect for money. Not that everybody else doesn't either, but I think out here we definitely will little stronger to that thought, yeah. Maybe a way that you can almost laugh at it, but yeah. All right. Oh, that's the end of the show almost, for sure. And we're almost done too. Okay? I know, don't use my fingers, but it's my food, right? I'm cooking and I gotta eat it. Don't tell my kids until after they eat it, though. All right. So then I'm gonna put all this in here. I was thinking it would be a bummer if I said, "Oh, I forgot." Da 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 da. I don't think I did. Nope, I got it all. All right. Good job. Good job, Curlee. Curlee. Remember that? Oh, look at, I didn't put the apples in there. That stinks. Oh, we're going to fix it up, okay? I knew I forgot something. That's weak. That's like, remember I told you earlier about me being a dum-dum? Big time, huh? We'll be okay. That's so funny. And, you know, and then I'm on camera, so there's nothing I can really do about it, right? Can't make it over. All right, let me just turn this off real quick. All right. And then, we'll be fine here, by the way. So, gonna just get in there, get it mixed up. Okay? All right, so just want to make sure you get it all in there. Right? So you got to kind of get on the bottom a little bit. I'm trying not to hit the bottom either because I got that flour in there, right? All right, then we're gonna put it in the oven for about an hour and 20 minutes. Okay, and I think that after an hour and 10 minutes, you should look at it and say, "Hey, is that good?" You know, because sometimes your oven might be a little hotter. You know, there's just a lot of things that apply to that. You know, there's an old saying that if you just stick like a toothpick in it and you don't really see, you know, the wetness or it doesn't grab a hold of it too much, that means that everything's baked in there. I do like it being a little bit like that though, because it naturally just kind of loses its temperature or its heat, and it's cooking a little bit while it's getting back to room temperature. That it'll get rid of some of that anyway. So I think an hour and 10, but my mother is an hour and 20 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the oven right now, and then I'm going to show you. Ta-da! This is what it would be. Yeah. So here's my grandma's famous apple nut bread. I made one earlier, and that time I didn't forget the apples. All right, so here's the apple nut bread, and we'll just cut it open, take a look at it. It looks delicious, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Got these apples right next to it. Wow, apples and leaves and stuff like that. I feel like I'm in, like, you know, the Midwest. All right, so let's cut it open. Let's see what it looks like. Okay. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. You see that? See all the little apples in there? Right? What kind did we use? We used the Cortland apples, right? And the Macintosh. Right? I kind of learned something a little bit about the Cortland apple. And the Macintosh too, right? From Canada. It's Canada's national apple, actually, too. All right, so that's it, gang. Hey, I was thinking a little bit about a song that I'm going to sing just for fun, because I do like singing this. I sing to my kids sometimes and stuff, but I thought it'd be part of the show, right? Maybe not all the time, we'll see. But I'm experimenting right now, right? It's practice for my videos. Goes something like this. Did you ever hear the word amen? Yeah. Whoa, he's getting religious on us. No, that's not the point. It really just means I believe. So I'm going to sing a song to you. Amen. And you can sing it too. Amen. 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 We're all brothers and sisters. Amen. In a big world. Amen. 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 Amen.